Hello and welcome to the Console Space Podcast, the podcast where we get together and talk about what's going on in the console space. There is no number on this episode. Do you boys know why? Well, I'll tell you. Because this is
It's because we can't count, right?
and because we can't count,
It's lost count.
but aside from that, because it's the E3 episode.
So it's kind of like episode
E3?
E3.
So, I don't know.
Wow.
E3's.
Wow. Oh, this is like how they stopped numbering Star Wars. And they just released the one-offs.
Yeah, we'll start doing subtitles after this.
To my left, co-host, co-producer, John Jables, Jingleheimer Porter, also known as Slickwick. How's it going, JP?
It's going good, Sean.
To my right, also co-host, co-producer, the Rise Dad. You wish you had Rob Kettlewell. How's it going, Rob? Yeah?
It's going good. Why does he get two nicknames?
I don't even know what any of them mean.
Well, you know, what other ones would you like?
I don't. You can't give yourself a nickname. People just think
That's
you're dumb.
true. You had to come up with one
Yeah.
for him.
Funny story about that we won't go into.
No, we're not going to it.
Back to you, JP.
I don't know what the story is.
I'll tell you later. We've been playing.
I have been playing Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. That's it. Fire Emblem Fates. There's two of them for 3DS. It's Birthright and Conquest. Two sides of the same story. And I played through Birthright, and now I'm checking out Conquest. Played Birthright a long time ago. I'm just now getting to Conquest. And yeah, it's really good. I started Conquest a long time ago too, but I bought Fire Emblem. What's Shadows of Valentia?
The Colossus?
Valentia. Echoes. Weird, long title. Shadows of Valentia Echoes, and it's one of the newer Fire Emblem games for 3DS, and I was like, I'll go back and finish this other one before I play it. So yeah, long story short, played a couple levels on a 3DS game, and that's all I've done.
So they released two separate Fire Emblems
Yes.
that you have to play to get the whole story.
It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's kind of like how they when they released them, I kind of saw it as like how they released Pokemon Red and Blue.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It sounded like it got Pokemanned.
That's kind of what happened. But it's like as in most Fire Emblem games, there's a war going on, and depending on which version you play through, your character sides with a different side of the war.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you get different characters, and you get to see the war from the other side.
Do you get different weapons and stuff?
It's just you have different characters, so you will have a different play style.
Yeah.
Because you'll get different characters in different order.
Yeah, they're like RPGs, right?
Yeah, they're strategy RPGs, like moving your characters around on a grid and that type of strategy RPG. So yeah, it's been cool to play through Conquest. It's not like a huge difference, but it's a lot of the same levels and things. They just are played out a little bit differently. They may have different like goals in them, stuff like that, and then different characters, and the story changes. So it's cool.
Well, there's a war raging within me too, but
I know that.
that's a story for another day. Rob, where are you playing?
Oh, I was thinking about what you were saying.
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. There's literally no story behind that. Sean's just trying to sound more interesting.
I honestly thought you were just going to talk about God of War.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I've been playing an old copy of SimCity, and I made a goal to not build any like major highways, and I connect everything with monorails and subways, and people don't like it. And like
They're gridlocked.
No. Well, I had this huge city. Like I had like 1 million people in this city.
Whoa.
And I paused the game and I like deleted all the highways and I built all these subways and monorails because it would take forever to like. I don't even know if it's possible to get a city that dense without building it up like traditionally.
You're gonna find out.
Yeah, I don't have that much time. So like I deleted all the highways and everything, and I put in the trams or the monorails and the subways, and no one liked it. Everyone's complaining. Everything's free, but they're like, "Oh, I missed my freeway," and I was like, "You people don't understand."
Wow.
But yeah, they don't like it.
See,
Everything's free, and they still want a free way.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Nothing in life is free, I guess.
Except
Even when
for
you
the
give
way.
them free stuff, they don't like it. There's a lesson in there somewhere.
That's really funny. Like, yeah, I think I'll go down the street, but sadly I have to take a train.
Well, no, like the regular streets still existed because like
Oh, okay.
the way that I was using I think SimCity 4. The way it is like you have to have streets to have like the grids so
Okay.
your buildings can exist. Because if you don't have streets, they just abandon the buildings.
Oh.
So I would have like normal like two-way streets,
Okay.
and like the subways and the monorails would connect to like the different parts of the city. Still didn't like it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah.
That seems actually kind of normal.
They didn't like it.
Well, like, okay, so
I just
have
imagine,
you
I'm sorry. I just imagine stepping out of your house and it's just instant like train station, and like everywhere in the city is just train track. But, yeah.
Like all the subway, like I built like a complete grid of subways. Like it was like you get on a subway and be to like where you want to go in like 2 minutes. Like I had like 50 subway stations.
Yeah.
The monorail went around like the outside of the city and then like made an X to like the center of the city. But people didn't like it.
All right.
so I know in like so like have you ever played Zoo Tycoon?
Yeah.
You know where you can like let all the animals out to kill everybody?
Yeah, I remember I got the expansion pack that was Marine Mania and Dinosaur Digs.
Oof.
And I would build Jurassic Park and then turn off all the electric fences on Jersey people. And then you could have great white sharks on display, which isn't a real thing because fun fact, you can't keep great white sharks on display because they die. I think there was one aquarium in America that tried it and they had it for like a little bit and then it just died. I don't know why.
Wow.
But I would just drop people into the great white shark tank.
So my question is, in Sim City, can you like be like, you know what? I'm gonna nuke this town.
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you can't. I can't remember if I don't think a nuclear attack is one of the disasters, but you can like have a nuclear plant that like catches on fire, like gets destroyed or something, and then it explodes and it releases all the radiation.
Wow.
Well, that's what I would do to your people if they don't enjoy your free transit.
Yeah.
No,
These people don't like socialized transportation, so I'm just gonna nuke them.
that's what I would do.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That'd be cool if like that just affected the game. Like, plant blows up, radiation goes everywhere. Surrounding areas get radiation sickness. Basically turns into Fallout plus SimCity.
And then you have like a budding like post-apocalyptic civilization
Right.
inside your Sim City.
Exactly.
You have to like coexist.
Yeah, and they're using bottle caps and everything for currency.
Take note, EA. I'd play that. Yeah. Sean, what have you been playing?
Well, boys, Platinum God of War.
Yeah.
Platinum.
Wow. How long did that take you? How many hours you got in that?
Honestly, I don't know.
Like 5 or 6.
I would venture to guess somewhere between 30 and 50. Not that bad. Like it's not like a super long game by today's standards, but it's long enough to where you feel pretty good once you've done what you got to do. But yeah, Platinum that, which I didn't think I would do because, man, like with these games, you know how there's always just that one trophy that's just a gigantic pain in the
Right,
ass, and you're like, because I mean, it's not that bad of a platinum, but there's just that one trophy where you're like, I don't want to do this at all. And what it is there are these ravens that are just kind of scattered throughout the whole realm. And, you know, they're usually somewhat hidden, somewhat kind of hard to find. And you have to throw your axe at these and hit them with it. And there's 51 of them. So...
it's basically a collectibles
yeah,
type trophy.
and so not really difficult so much as just time consuming.
And I imagine if you miss one, you get to play through the story again.
No,
Okay.
no.
Can you kind of go where you? I know most God of Wars, like once you leave an area, you don't get back.
No. This one's completely the opposite. Once you beat the game, you can go back to anywhere you need to go.
Ah, okay, cool.
And I kind of did the opposite. Like, I did most of the side stuff prior to beating the game because I kind of like to do most of what you can do first and then beat the game. Whereas, you know, I guess a lot of people would just kind of prefer to go straight through the story first and then go back and do some stuff. I mean, there obviously were some things that, you know, I had to go back and do. But in hindsight, I actually did most of the stuff prior to even beating the game.
Yeah.
So you know, it was like, well, I beat the game, but there's not that many more trophies that I need. At that point, I just kind of figured, screw it. Like I might as well complete it. So,
Right.
so I got it done. So yeah, I know we have a couple episodes that we need to get up that are about God of War. I don't know if these will go up prior to this or not, but you know, we talked a lot about that, obviously. And then the last one we filmed that we'll have to get up either before or after this one was about Detroit Become Human. That comes out in a couple of days from this recording. So that'll be what I'm getting next. Looking forward to that game. Obviously, we talked about, we played the demo and it was super cool. And so that's what I'm getting next. In this week of downtime, so to speak. Probably won't get into anything too consuming because I'm just kind of waiting for Detroit. I will say there's a game this weekend. They had an open beta. It's called Onrush. It's like this neat new racing game, but it's not in the traditional sense. Like it's not about really reaching the finish line. There are a whole bunch of different car classes that they each have their own unique abilities, and it's almost kind of like you are racing, but it's like simultaneous car combat.
Okay.
And you're trying to take out the other team first, and that's how you win.
Okay.
Apparently, it's going to be a full price, retail game at launch. So you would think that they put a lot into it for that price. Probably not something I'll get at launch, but the beta was pretty cool though. So
is it set in is it kind of realistic, present day, or is it in the future or something?
I would say it plays like something more futuristic, but so yeah. I mean, I hadn't heard of it at all, and then saw the beta and I was like, oh, why not? Tried it out and it was actually pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just waiting for Detroit now and really pumped for that game. Like I said, I was on the fence about it, and then we played it and we were like, whoa, this game's really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, were you saying something?
Nope.
Oh, sorry. So we're shifting to our main topic today. Like I said, this episode is not numbered because we do need to get it up prior to E3, which is just a few short weeks away. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the big three E3 conferences, what we think will happen, what we want to happen, and it's just a fun time of year, and it's cool to be able to kind of just predict things because you can't really be wrong, or if you are wrong, it doesn't really matter because it's kind of what you want to happen. So it's cool with you guys. I was gonna start with Nintendo just because Nintendo's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to E3. Like it's like you know, kind of easy to think that we're going to see certain things, but they've kind of proven over the years that they don't really abide by the, you know, rules of E3, if you will. Like, it's easy to think like, oh God, we're going to see Pokemon, we're going to see Smash, or we're going to see Metroid. It's all going to be there, and then
Nope.
usually isn't the case.
Right.
So now, speaking of those, they are the big three. So I think it's safe to say one of them will probably be there.
I mean,
Either
isn't Pokemon supposed to launch this fall?
there's been rumors of a new Pokemon game on the Switch.
Yes, I mean it's confirmed that it's being made,
Okay.
but unlike Metroid and Smash, they haven't actually showed like
teaser or
yeah
anything.
or yeah. So I think I speak for us all when we want that to be there.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. It's really hard to say with the Nintendo. Last year at E3, many said that they won, largely because they ended the show with a teaser of Metroid 4. I mean, they didn't actually show anything at all. Like it was just, hey, this game exists, more or less. So, unlike Pokemon, they actually have shown that, and then back at their last Nintendo Direct several months ago, they ended it with the
Smash.
with the Smash trailer.
Yeah.
So,
Was there a date on that?
no, God, no. And you know what? We still don't really even know, because like they've been on a spree of Wii U ports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a little afraid that it might even just be kind of like a upgraded port.
Yeah.
You know,
I would like to think we would find that out at E3.
you would think so.
Like, I don't know if they'll put a date or I don't know if they'll even show anything else from it. But I'd like to think we would find out if it was a new game or a re-release or like a deluxe edition port or whatever. It
Yeah.
is.
At least to like tone down expectations if it is a port.
Right. 'Cause
I'm sure that it wouldn't be like a complete direct port with only the stuff that was on that game. I'm sure they would add like a couple characters and some levels.
yes,
And stuff.
because especially since the Splatoon characters were in the trailer for
Yeah.
it, that's like almost a confirmation right there that there's going to be something extra in it. Whether or not it's a whole new game or not, is what we need to see.
Not just Splatoon, because of the recent confirmation that Crash Bandicoot will be going to the Switch. A lot of people think Crash might be a playable character.
That would
be
be
something.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to. Sony tried PlayStation All Stars and that bombed, and
Which was sad because I felt like they could have been great.
It
but-
could have been.
Yeah.
I could talk. I could do a whole episode on why on the things that I didn't like about that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they should just put their characters in Smash now too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the most likely just because we've seen the most from Smash. Whereas,
Yeah.
and then Metroid and Pokemon, you would think one of them will be there. I doubt they'll both be there.
Yeah.
But I would think one of them probably will show up in some form.
And they announce a Star Fox racing game?
They did?
Yeah, did you hear about that?
No.
I hope it's gonna be like Diddy Kong Racing. I would be so happy.
That would be cool. But they announced. I kind of don't remember all the details now. If they like officially announced it, or if it's like a rumor, or if it was like a leak. But there is going to be a Star Fox racing game.
Interesting. That's cool, or at least potentially cool, but I have to wonder
I'll look that up.
Yeah. I have to wonder if they're doing that almost in place of like an F-Zero. Because
Yeah.
we've been wanting a new F-Zero for a long time. And they just haven't made one. There's been a lot of hope with the Switch that they actually might finally bring it back.
Yeah.
But if they're making a Star Fox racing game, I feel like that makes that less likely.
It depends on if it's like strictly like spaceship based or if it is like Diddy Kong Racing.
I looked up Star Fox Race. I googled Star Fox racing game, and the very first headline is rumor: fresh details of Star Fox Grand Prix suggest it's not like F-Zero at all.
All right. Well,
So it's supposed to be Star Fox. Made by Retro Studios, who I believe that's who did the Donkey Kong games, like Tropical Freeze and
okay.
Donkey Kong Returns. Making a Star Fox racing spin-off game.
Huh. Well, that could be very interesting. I will definitely be watching for that.
That's the rumor that comes from Eurogamer.
Yeah.
So it's probably a thing.
Yeah. Now let me ask you guys this: Pokemon.
Yes.
You got to assume they're probably going to launch 2 games, right?
I don't know.
Because that's
Because
interesting.
it's a console game.
Yeah, because it'll probably be more expensive than a portable game. Maybe they.
What is a portable game? Like $39 or $40 or something?
Yeah, like the big title 3DS games are like $40, I think. There are some that can go to like 50, just depending on what it is. But typically, I'd say $40.
Do you think there's any chance they would release one on the Switch and one on the 3DS?
I don't think so.
I don't think they'd split it up between consoles like that.
I think Pokemon. I don't know if they'll do another 3DS game because I think they've really been pushing the mobile games, like phone games, and if they drop a console game, I think they'd be cannibalizing one of those if they dropped another 3DS game. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because it wouldn't blow my mind that much if it was if they released a version of the same game on Switch or 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think they're gonna announce a Switch game. I think there's gonna be one, and it's just gonna be the first console-size Pokemon game, and I mean, I would like to. Yeah, that's what people want.
I'm hoping that it's more in the style of like Zelda and like what it looks like than what the 3DS looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to see, because that would be awesome if it was just like fully like 3D independent camera, like kind of adventure game. But I don't know.
Did you play that demo that was going around a couple years ago in the Unreal Engine?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Some fan made like
that was awesome.
It was like it started in Pallet Town and you could like go up like that grass road and it was in the Unreal Engine. Dude, it was nuts.
That's awesome.
It was great. And then Nintendo shut it down in like a week. But it was amazing. That's what people want.
Yeah.
For sure. Now also there are some rumblings that suggest maybe it could be in some way integrated with Pokemon Go. Do you think that's a...
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not true, but
it could maybe be like how you could like, remember how you could put your cartridge into Pokemon Stadium?
yeah,
I could see it maybe being like that. Like if you went and caught like certain Pokemon in Pokemon Go, you could like import them in or something.
maybe
That would be interesting.
Because there's so many generations of Pokemon, there could be Pokemon that are exclusive to Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool if you could upload something to a website to transfer it to.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be like a Pokemon would have like their account that you would sign in with your Switch.
Yeah,
that would be tied to like your email or something.
Yeah. You could just sign in from the Switch and it wouldn't get all your Pokemon Go information.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
I would be fine with that.
I would be fine with that too. That would be really cool.
Like because I mean, there's only so many Pokemon you can fit into a console game, and they're like up to what, like 500 or something.
Dude, they're like closer
Yeah,
to
no.
like 1,000.
Yeah, I stopped counting after 150.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Me too.
like if there were like special events or like special legendaries that you could only get in certain parts of the world, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
man,
I like it.
that's a really cool idea.
Nintendo hired me.
So, we all agree. Super Smash probably will be shown,
I would
and
think so.
then
Yes.
one of Metroid or Pokemon. Probably not both, though, right?
I couldn't imagine both.
I can't imagine both. If they did show both, one of them would only be like 1 minute trailer.
Yeah.
I guess, and there's the Pokemon company or whatever, like, the entire separate team works on Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
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 Like the Pokemon company like operates completely like independent from Nintendo.
Yeah.
They're like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess they have people to make another game. I don't know, because HAL Laboratories or whatever works on Smash Brothers. People
Yeah.
make Kirby,
Yeah.
and then Pokemon Company on Pokemon, and so Nintendo Retro Studios is making the Star Fox racing game. So wouldn't that leave them open for another game, or did we miss something?
Oh, we sneezed. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wow, that was scary. Oh,
Gah!
that was scary.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I don't know. Could be another game.
Yeah, but I don't know how any of that works. So maybe they're busy.
All right. Well, like I said, those are the big three for Nintendo that we're really holding out for. Mario Tennis.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah.
That. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just say like the main team would be working on that game.
Yeah. That game comes out several weeks after E3, so I imagine we'll probably get one last look at it. Like, hey, here it is.
It's
All right.
done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bayonetta 3.
Platinum Games.
I don't know if, I couldn't tell you, but I would like to see Bayonetta 3. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's coming, but it's just a matter of when. And then lastly, that I have on my list, that new Yoshi game. Back when they revealed it, I think like 1 or 2 years ago, I want to say it was last year. They were just like, hey, we're working on new Kirby and Yoshi games, but there weren't actual titles or anything. They were just like, hey, and I was like, interesting. They already released the Kirby game, which was Kirby Star Allies.
What was that on?
Switch. Yeah, the Switch. But whatever the Yoshi game is yet, we still don't know what the hell that is. So wouldn't be surprised to see more information on that.
That's interesting. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. Aside from that, I mean, they'll do a lot of stuff that I personally don't care about. Like a lot of like the 3DS things and stuff like that. That's
I like 3DS stuff.
yeah, that's when I was mentioning like maybe we get a new Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's possible. Maybe new Animal Crossing. I know a lot of people would want
wow.
that. Of course, I don't know if that would be on 3DS or the Switch or both.
Right.
Who knows?
At this point, they'd probably put it on the Switch.
You'd think.
I have to wonder like what Nintendo's plan is going forward, since the Switch is a fully functional console, but it's also portable. Like how long they plan to support the 3DS.
I don't know, because the 3DS is a different experience.
Yeah.
Like it's.
And there are a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
everyone already has it. Like, not a lot of people already have a 3DS.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's definitely interesting though, because they technically have two portable consoles. The 3DS. I'd like to know how they view it, because it's like the 3DS is still more portable than the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put a Switch in my pocket and walk around.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. There's still a reason to support the 3DS for sure, but we'll see how long they do it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Microsoft. It's going to be an interesting one. Microsoft obviously really needs to go big this year. They're saying it's going to be the biggest one ever, but
They say that every
they
year.
always say that, so take that with a grain of salt. But obviously, 2017 was really bad, and so far this year they put out Sea of Thieves, which
Yeah. Tank.
kind of flopped, and the same thing actually is currently happening with State of Decay 2,
Oh.
not being received very well.
They need to stop releasing half-finished games.
Well, yeah, that's the main problem. Anyway, so you know how there have been a couple episodes, I think, where we actually made jokes.
Sorry to.
Go ahead.
This is real late response, but to their credit, everyone needs to stop releasing half-finished games.
Yes, everyone.
Well, true.
But
It's
they
not-
need to release more games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the only one not guilty of that is Nintendo.
Right.
So you know how there have been a handful of times on this podcast where we would joke about something like a Halo, like
Halo racing game.
or no, like like a Halo Battle Royale, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, boys,
It's coming.
Are they really making that?
well, I don't know, but there have actually been some rumors that might be a real thing.
Find out, Sean.
That
do
might
do
be
the work.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do the
Horrible
journalism.
Yeah,
Reach out to all
game
these companies.
journalism, because that's a thing anymore.
Imagine if we had. Imagine we're 20 episodes in and we have the scoop on the next Halo game.
So again, I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, but I wouldn't put it past Microsoft to try to jump on the trend.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't. In fact, it's happening with COD. Did you guys see Call of Duty?
Yeah, I did.
No, I didn't see that.
Yep. The new COD is going to have no single player. It's going to have a Fortnite-like mode.
Battle
Okay.
Royale.
Yeah.
Did you see the zombies mode?
No.
No.
It's pretty interesting. You're like on like the trailer starts out that you're on like an old style cruise ship, and you're like, I don't know, like a treasure hunter or something. And this guy combines like two of the treasures that you have. And he like combines the treasures and like, I don't know, like it releases like some demon energy or something and turns people into zombies. But then it's revealed that you're like on the Titanic and like you're on a ship full of zombies and you're about to hit an iceberg or something. So I was like,
What?
yeah, I was like, this can't be real. And then it pulled back and like it like shows like you're on the front of the ship, like in Titanic the movie. And like you see the iceberg behind you and it's like SS Titanic, and I was like, oh my god.
So there's gonna be a zombies mode on the Titanic.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Wow.
When we're done, you're gonna have to watch the trailer.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty intriguing. I was like, this is pretty good.
I mean, that sounds insane.
I mean, it's better than all the Nazi zombies that they keep driving into the ground.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous, but I mean, how could you pass up that premise?
How could you? I could have pretty easily, personally.
Well, as a company,
Well, sure.
if someone approached you and I was like, hey, I'm thinking zombies mode, but I want to do it on Titanic right before you hit an iceberg. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. But now that it's made, you gotta play it.
Yeah, you gotta play it now.
Yeah. So yes, COD has jumped on that bandwagon. They won't be the last. You already know they won't be the last.
No. I think it would be cool, like, when there's a big trend like that, or I don't know how to describe it. There's something that just takes over, like, this is the new hot item right now, like this Battle Royale game. I think it's a cool idea for, like, the bigger studios, like, it's almost expected, like, the next Call of Duty comes out, and they just have a regular multiplayer. It's like, well, this other game has this other mode everyone likes right now. It's understandable that they would be like, well, we're gonna have the multiplayer, and then there's like this battle royale mode. If you want, it's like they have more options now that this game exists. You can see here's something else you can do with multiplayer, and a bigger studio could add that to their game. Hopefully, they don't just like, we're just gonna make a copy of the other game and be done with it. Hopefully, it's just like, from the sounds of it, that's what's gonna happen. But I don't see it as a bad thing to be like, well, we'll incorporate all this cool stuff that works in other games into our game. But yeah, it's probably going to be more.
I think when you're sacrificing things like a single player campaign,
right? That's a whole.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, that.
But
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but at any rate, the thing with Halo is that I guess it's supposed to be on like a 3-year cycle per game. You know.
Okay.
So Halo 5 dropped back in fall of 2015. So presumably, 6 would be this fall. But supposedly, what they're saying, within the industry is that it's not ready yet. And so instead, kind of, well, here's this in the meantime, they are thinking that they could put out some kind of spin-off like that. And so we'll see. I mean, I was shocked last E3 when they didn't show Halo at all. Because they usually always find some way to be like show something Halo related. So I mean,
they're probably freaking out that it's not done.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna see something there in some form of Halo. I don't think it's going to be Halo 6 because again, it's apparently not ready. So I don't know. All you really need to know about the state of Microsoft right now is I don't know if you guys saw. There recently was like there was a new Halo game, right? And it's some like light gun game that you can only play at Dave and Buster's.
I knew you were gonna say Dave and Buster's.
I did see that.
And like, there's not really. I mean, that's fine. There's not, there isn't anything wrong with that.
An arcade.
It's just kind of ironic when it's like, well, you guys need a Halo game on your console, like as soon as possible because it's not doing so hot. So I just thought it was kind of ironic timing, I guess.
Yeah.
But so again, Halo will be there in some form or another. You can bet on that. Absolutely. Same thing probably for Gears. So the last Gears dropped 2 years ago. So I mean, you would think they'll probably have some kind of a trailer, teaser, something along those lines. That wouldn't surprise me. The other lock, as usual, is Forza.
Yep.
You're gonna see Forza Horizon 4, presumably. That will be there. After that, it gets to be a little bit of a crapshoot. I mean, so supposedly, because last year they canned Lionhead Studios and Fable. But then they supposedly reassigned Fable to a different studio, and they are supposedly kind of just going to reboot the franchise.
Yeah.
So wouldn't be shocked to see that there. I mean, if they could do it and pull it off in the way of like it was done, like it was done with the most recent God of War, then that would
complete hard reboot. Yeah.
But can they pull that off? That's a tall task.
Well, and you have to wonder how much of it they were handed. We're told finish this.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think if they can do it like that, I'm all for it. Otherwise, I'm just like, why aren't you just letting the studio make a new game? Just let somebody, make a freaking new IP. We'll see. There is going to be a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest. That actually was confirmed, I believe, last E3. It's called like Ori and the Will of the Wisps or some, I don't know, whatever. That's like their big indie game.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be there.
Yeah.
Crackdown.
Oh yeah.
Crackdown is
Yeah.
it's now okay. So they first revealed that game 2014
years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
2014.
Yeah.
Like it was supposed to come out in 2017. It didn't, and then it was 2018. Now apparently it's not coming out till 2019.
Damn.
It better be a real good game.
I wouldn't hold your breath. Usually when a game is, keeps getting pushed back for that long, I mean, I don't think it'll be like a complete disaster,
Right.
but I don't think it's going to be what they need it to be.
Yeah, sometimes games get pushed back because they need more time, and it helps and it finishes the game,
Yeah.
and they should. And other times it keeps getting pushed back because something's going wrong.
They just keep throwing money at it to try to fix
Yeah.
it. It doesn't work.
So with that being said, honestly, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if it's not there. Just
Yeah.
because, it still seems like it's a pretty good ways away.
Right.
So I won't be surprised if they don't even show Crackdown, but I really don't know one way or the other. And there are some rumblings that Microsoft and
I saw
What you-
what's next on your list, and I was literally gonna make a joke about it. I was gonna say what's the most random game they could make a sequel to, and I was gonna say Perfect Dark.
okay. So the thing is, with a lot of rumors when it comes to E3, I think a good portion of them are usually just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
And I think this might be one of them. Supposedly, Microsoft may be exploring rebooting one of because they have some good old IP.
Right. They own a lot
And
of things now.
they have tried to bring some of it back. I mean, like they brought back Killer Instinct, which
Right.
is solid, but still not really what they need. I know that they put Conquer in a game. It would be kind of hard to bring back Conquer at
He was
this
in a
point.
weird
It would be-
game,
I mean, Banjo Kazooie, same deal. I mean, I'd love to see him bring it back and do it right, but I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah.
There are rumors that the studio that makes Gears is instead going to reboot Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Again, probably wishful thinking because I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't just have them keep making Gears. Because that's what Microsoft does. They just keep making Gears and Halo and Forza over and over and over again. But I would be all for that. I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah, take a year or two break from Gears and
Yeah.
make another game.
That would be cool. Who knows? The rumors are they might revive that or Mech Assault.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that'd be interesting too.
Which
would be cool.
and that could actually I mean, I could see why they might not want to do that at first when when they were having a lot of success with Titanfall.
Oh yeah.
However, Titanfall 2 flopped
Oh yes.
badly. So much so that there probably won't be a third one. So they could probably swoop in on that and be like, but at the same
Sorry,
No, go ahead.
I hate that flopped Titanfall 2 because I heard it was really good. I heard it was actually kind of unique and good. But it got released at the same time as a lot of other stuff,
dude,
and they didn't promote it right. And
they
was just
released it literally right between the new COD and Battlefield.
That's it. Which is like a
That's
death
stupid,
sentence.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like the two biggest games in that genre, and it's like, well, we'll put our game that's kind of in that genre right in between them.
Well, and what was even more strange about that is Titanfall and Battlefield are both EA.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like
not
EA,
they
why
didn't
would you not
know.
just push it back?
Yeah,
I don't-
it's like I don't know what the deal with that is.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
was
they
a-
basically killed their own game.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Well, because they are like a public company and they're like, ooh, let's pump out as much money as we can, and they just get in their own way.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem with EA is I think a lot of what they do is how much money can we make this quarter, and they don't look to down the
Right.
line.
Yeah.
They
to
don't
like how much.
maximize the
Yeah, they're
No,
not
they
looking
couldn't
to
make-
how much they could be hurting themselves because they're just worried about this quarter.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think Perfect Dark would not only be more popular and more well received, but Mech Assault would work, but at the same time, I know supposedly FromSoft is they're going to bring back Armored Core.
Yeah.
I don't know that you want to take that head on.
Right.
Probably not a good idea. So I think if anything, it would probably be Perfect Dark. But honestly, I would be surprised to even see that. I mean, like I hope they do it, but I don't know. And then, last thing I had from Microsoft was new IP, which they desperately need new IP.
I would like to think that they would announce something. And if it really is their biggest E3 ever, like they say, then they'll have to announce something new.
I think you'll probably get one. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, saying that like if they don't reveal 2 or 3 major new IPs, then this E3 is like a failure. And I'm like, 2 or 3. I mean, I hope they're right. I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah,
I just don't know who's making them.
And they need an idea that isn't a first person shooter.
Yes.
Isn't a racing game. They need something that no one is thinking about.
Right.
And I don't understand why that's so hard for them.
Well,
and I mean, because they had Sea of Thieves, but that was just a ripoff of Assassin's Creed. Let's be honest.
it was a similar concept, but more so, it was just an unfinished game.
Yeah.
It was just not even done at all.
But they need something that is a concept that no one has ran into the ground yet. And I don't think they're going to find it.
Yeah. They need to do something that is like, oh, I want an Xbox because of that.
Yeah. And a first-person shooter's not going to do it.
I just don't know what it
There's
is.
too many of them.
I mean, Sony proves time and time again that, like, third-person action-adventure games with a good story sell. Like, Uncharted, The Last of Us, and then, like, you had Horizon.
Yeah.
You have God of War. I mean, they can't, because, like...
Red Dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not exclusive.
I like to put that in there whenever I get a chance.
Because, like, a lot of people, get, like, there's always a lot of claims in the industry being made like all single player games are dead. But Sony proves time and time again that like that's not the case. Microsoft would seem more bent on wanting to make something that is probably single player, but probably more focused on multiplayer, something that they could make into a service. Yeah. I feel like that's what they would like a Halo Battlegrounds. That's why I think that they really might do that.
They might.
But I don't know. They just need new IP, and I think we'll probably see one. I don't think we're going to see enough, I can tell you that. But
yeah. I will say real quick, something really cool that they did. Did you see that new Xbox like adaptive control? I think it's called like adaptive control.
Oh yeah.
That's
awesome.
Is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time in like gaming, because they designed a controller that's like super customizable. So if you're disabled, you can use it in different configurations. You can use it with one hand. You can plug different switches and buttons into it that can be used in all different ways to accommodate different play styles, and it's super cool. And they were being really cool about it, saying like, hey, if Sony wants to use this technology, if other people want to use this technology, like we just want people to be able to play, so go for it. So that was really cool.
No, they're doing a lot of things right. It's just the one thing. It's just games.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like they have cool hardware stuff. They have what's supposed to be it is the most powerful. The Xbox One X is has the best specs of any console.
Yeah.
I like the dashboard stuff too, like how you can switch to like your TV with it. That's cool.
Yeah, they have a lot of cool stuff. It's just like they just need the games. That's always been a make or break for a console. So
Yep. Faux show. And last but not least, Sony. So did you guys see, for like the first time pretty much ever, like at least as far as I know, they actually came out beforehand and said what they're going to be focusing on at E3.
yeah, I saw some of that.
And I don't know what to make of that. I'm kind of on the fence. The thing about E3 is, it's all about surprises.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part of E3.
Yeah.
So, for them to kind of be like, here's what we're focusing on, you're like, I had flashbacks of what they did at PSX. And I was like, God, I hope they don't do that again.
Right, or they just kind of talked about
that was awful.
Yeah.
That was kind of boring.
They just sat on the stage on couches for like an hour.
I don't think that's what they're going to do. I really
Right.
hope not. That's a horrible idea.
I would hope not. It makes me, talking about so much stuff up front, it makes me think maybe they want to get people's hopes like in the right direction, like instead of maybe they don't have a lot of things to announce, they just want to go over games that are coming out that we've probably heard about in the past. So they're like, hey, heads up, we're going to be talking about these games.
Well,
lower your expectations.
Yeah.
well, and I mean, again, I'm just afraid of it being that same format. But if it's not, it makes sense for them to do that because we know what they're working on. I mean,
Right.
we know what literally every single one of their first party studios is doing.
It's like hard to keep those secrets anymore.
Yeah. Well, and plus, they are kind of infamous for revealing games pretty early.
Yeah.
So like, we just know what's coming, but that's not such a bad thing when, so they said the main focus will be on Spider-Man, Death Stranding.
Right, that's cool.
God damn it. What were the other two? Oh, The Last of Us Part 2
Right.
and Son of a Bitch.
I don't remember what the other one was.
Well, the weird thing was it wasn't Days Gone,
Uh,
which that was kind of the head scratcher, if you will, of like, what? Hold on, I'm sorry. I have to.
Well, I'm excited to see stuff about Death Stranding because obviously we've just had a couple trailers that are kind of cryptic and don't give too much away. So I'm really excited that it's going to have a spot in E3.
Sucker Punch is a new game.
Oh, did they say what it was?
Um,
Oh, is that
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, the samurai
Yes.
game.
So those are 4 good games to focus on.
Right,
I mean,
and
I'm all for that.
They're all games. Spider-Man, we've seen a decent amount of Spider-Man, but it is coming out. But that'll be the next big thing that.
Well,
drop.
it is funny you mentioned Spider-Man because out of those 4, that's the only one that we've seen gameplay for.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And that gets me pumped
Yeah.
because chances are we'll probably see gameplay for the other 3.
Yes,
And that's awesome.
That's what I was gonna say. 'Cause since Spider-Man has gameplay and everything else, it's gonna even though we've seen the other 3 games like announced already, we haven't seen them in action. So there's still a lot to see there.
Yeah.
And even though they kind of set up front what they're gonna be focusing on, I still hope there's some kind of surprise.
I think there will be. I'll tell you what I think it might be.
surprises when it comes to E3.
I'll tell you what I think it might be later. But yeah, you know what they said? We're like, hey, we're going to focus on these games, and then we're going to show some VR stuff as well, and there will be other stuff from like big third parties and whatnot. But then, this made a lot of people mad. Which I just eye roll at. They confirmed there will be no hardware announcements there.
Okay.
And everyone's like, oh, this was. But I'm like, why does anybody want the PS5?
I have no idea.
I mean, when you look at the main 4 games that are going to be showcased at this show,
yeah.
and they're all for PS4, why do you want your PS5?
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's yeah, for me, it's like if I already have I don't know. I'm not done with PS4 yet. So
Dude, no, I mean,
I don't see why people would be excited to be like, all right, I have to go spend like $500.
exactly, and it's like back in the day when it was like, okay, the next new console is gonna blow your mind because you've never seen anything like it. It's like, okay, I'm excited. Regardless, I'm excited for what comes next. With the PS5, it's gonna have better graphics, but it's not gonna be anything. It's gonna be some better. There's gonna be better textures. It'll do 4K if you have a 4K TV. And
Yeah,
it's not gonna be.
it's gonna have, presumably, it's gonna have native 4K, probably toward the point of like photorealistic graphics.
Yeah.
But
it's not gonna be the difference of like Super Nintendo to PlayStation.
No.
It's not gonna be like
Hell.
suddenly there's voice acting. It's not gonna be some huge revelation.
there presumably will be large improvements in the VR.
Yeah.
That'll be the main thing that's like,
yeah,
whoa.
hopefully they do something more with the VR too.
Yeah.
But.
Now, but yeah, it's like, again, with like, we still have, I mean, The Last of Us Part 2 and Death Stranding look like probably the two best games to come yet. And I'm like, can't we get these and then we'll, get the PS5? Like, and
it's and with Death Stranding and with, I don't know, to announce the PS5 right now, it's just like all of those games
We get glossed over.
Yeah, they're glossed over. It's gonna be, and it's like, oh, they're gonna release a PS5 version. And it's like, should I even buy this version?
Yeah.
It's so even if they did have a PS5, they probably wouldn't tell us until they were ready to announce it, because they don't want you to not buy a game to wait for a better version of it. But I don't think they need to release the PS5 or announce a PS5 right now. So that's fine.
Yeah, for sure. A couple games that were not. And we're back. Sorry about that. We ran out of memory. This is a long one, so we ran out of space. We're going to pick up exactly where we left off. I just wanted to say real quickly, this is an exciting day because I thought that I was out of gaming shirts. And I forgot the most important one of all.
Yes.
Metal Gear. What am I doing with my life?
I don't know.
I don't know. At any rate, we left off. We were about to go into talking about a few games that might be mysteriously absent from Sony's show. So prior to this, obviously, we were talking about how they came out and said the main four they're focusing on. The main one I'm kind of intrigued about that may or may not be there is Days Gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys knew, but so I know it's going to be featured on the cover of Game Informer.
Okay.
I think pretty soon, maybe like this or next month.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple weeks back, they actually came out and they released the entire first hour of the game.
Like
Like playable game or like
No.
like
just,
to reviewers?
yeah. Well, I like I remember IGN posting it and they were like, hey,
okay.
watch the first hour of Days Gone.
Okay.
And so,
was it someone playing through it or was it just cutscenes?
no, I mean, like, it was just the first hour of the game, like being played.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't really know. I can say that recently Sony, they did come out and say that the game has been pushed back to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like, if it's in kind of a state of like, and then, sorry, Sony Bend, they're the ones making the game. They came out and said that from here until launch, it's pretty much all just them polishing the game.
Okay.
So it seems to be in kind of a weird limbo of like, pretty much finished, but they just can't put it out yet.
Yeah. Which that's fine with me. If it comes out and it's like it works well, that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's ideal. I
They're
mean,
probably just trying to add a battle royale mode.
please God no.
Probably. My
Do you
God.
do you think maybe it's a scenario of Sony already they're already gonna have a super great 2018 and maybe we're just kind of like we don't really even need to put this game out yet?
That could be part of it, and maybe even a combination of like, well, we kind of want to touch this up some more, and then Sony being like, well, I guess we do have other games coming out, and maybe like a combination of like, under other circumstances, maybe they wouldn't push it back, but since they,
Well, it's like we obviously already had God of War, and we just got Detroit, and then several months from now, Spider-Man. I mean, I guess
there's no release date for Last of Us 2, right?
no,
Okay.
no.
Red Dead, don't forget Red Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't want to. I'm sure they don't want to release it at the same time as Last of Us.
No, hell no.
I'm sure they're gonna try to separate that as much as possible.
Some people are speculating that The Last of Us actually might drop like this holiday, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Yeah.
And then obviously, Death Stranding is not coming out this year.
No.
That's 2019. Sucker Punch's new game is for sure probably 2019. So it's like, by the time 2018 is done, Sony will have dropped 3 really big exclusives. Maybe it's aiming, for the same thing. Well, I mean, if they release The Last of Us, Death Stranding, Sucker Punch's new game, and Days Gone, that'd be 4 in 2019. I don't know. I mean, if the game were ready now, I don't see why they couldn't release it in the summer, because between right now and September, there's not really anything huge, But obviously, I would rather them just wait to until it's finished. I mean, that's
I wouldn't be surprised if they had to work out bugs with like just that mechanic of all the zombies.
yeah, that's true.
So many zombies on screen.
Right.
Frame rate.
Yeah, it's probably hard to make sure there's not going to be any problems with that.
So, but case in point, Sony has been very clear about that game being pushed back. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't even see it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit. To go off of that, remember the game Dreams?
Yes.
That's one that's like even in much more limbo, like nobody knows.
Yeah.
Dreams might make an appearance, probably not. I would see that being maybe more something at like PSX or like like they're showing Paris.
Yeah.
But
was Dreams always slated as a VR game, or was it not at first? I don't remember.
I don't
It's been
know.
so long since they've announced it. I kind of forget.
I don't know, but what I recently read is that game has been rebooted twice,
Oh, jeez.
which is why it still isn't out yet.
Yeah, because I was wondering if they started it as just a regular PS4 game, and then they were like, oh, now let's make it a VR game.
Well, see, that's a lot of the speculation is that while they were making it, they were like, oh, we should probably also make this VR compatible.
Yeah.
So no one really knows that for certain, but it's a good guess that did probably happen while it was being developed. So again, Dreams, I wouldn't hold your breath. I'd like to see it again, but with that game, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. And then the only other one I had on my list. Do you remember that game Wild?
Yes.
They showed Wild. I think it was.
That's the one where you can like kind of I don't know, possess like animals and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
You have like
That
animal
was great.
companions.
I think they showed it at like Paris Games Week, like 2016. I believe was the first and last time they ended that conference with it, and I was like, "This game looks awesome."
Yeah.
And then we haven't seen it again. But it's just been totally MIA. Again, probably won't be there. But I'd love to see it again. But yeah, you were just kind of you can just kind of like take control of like anything in the environment,
Okay.
and like and just kind of control what happened.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember it had an article in Game Informer that I read, and it sounded awesome.
Yeah. Aside from that, I mean, Final Fantasy VII, who knows?
I keep hearing rumors about that. Like Square says it might not come out for 30 years.
Yeah,
like,
same thing.
And everyone's fine with it.
Yeah. So it's hard to say.
Kingdom Hearts 3, that actually probably will be there because
That's close to coming out.
Yeah.
well, finally.
Yeah.
It's taken them a decade, but finally. There are some rumors that Devil May Cry 5 might actually be a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Sony's not really, they're not exactly hurting for exclusives by any means, but that would just put one more game in their catalog. I don't know why my mom's calling me. She knows I'm recording.
Mom, the meatloaf.
Mom, the meatloaf. God.
Wow.
Tell you what. And then
This is cut again. Let's
Yeah.
just do another episode.
cut it. It's ruined. Last but not least, Jables, and I know you want this one, is Shadows Die Twice. Is it Bloodborne 2?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. I didn't know if you were gonna say anything about it. The new From Software game.
No one knows, but I know that we want it very badly to be Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, I'd like it to be Bloodborne 2. They showed it that it's if you don't know what we're talking about, it's that teaser that From Software showed. That's just that weird mechanical, bloody looking thing that like twists.
It's like an arm stump thing or something.
And then it ends.
It's just so hard to say.
And like, didn't we watch a whole video that was like, it matched the script of Bloodborne or something?
It had like Japanese script in it or something like that,
Yeah.
and they were theorizing that it meant that it was a new Tenchu game.
Yeah.
Tenchu, yeah.
Tenchu, yeah. It's a new Tenchu game, which is possible, but I hope it's a Bloodborne game. I don't know if it's. Really, I'll be happy with anything because any From Software game that could be is
Sure.
something to be excited about. But.
It's just hard to say because they were pretty open in saying that they wanted to move on from that. I mean,
I know they said they're done with Dark Souls.
yeah, which it's not Dark Souls, but obviously it's like
It's basically
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, like
So-
it would be a little bit weird for them to be like, we're done with this, and then make Bloodborne because of how similar it is.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Again, in spite of Sony being very open about what they're showing, they're gonna have at least one surprise,
Yeah,
and that would, I mean,
that
again,
would be a surprise.
their big four that they're showing that they've already said. In my opinion, those 4 games alone, they win E3.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, we'll see what Microsoft does because they
Sure.
said it's going to be their biggest
Well,
E3 yet.
yeah.
Sea of Thieves 2.
Sea of Thieves 2.
Battle Royale.
Sea of Thieves 2, Battle Royale. What more could you want?
Even Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, those 4 games are just gigantic.
Yeah.
They're just huge games. I mean, I think Nintendo might have a little something to say, obviously, but
Hopefully Luigi's Mansion 2.
hopefully Luigi's Mansion 2, Pokemon Snap 2.
Pokemon console game.
Yeah, I was to say, I want them. We talked about that.
Yeah,
We've
we
already
talked about it.
We were looping back to the
Right,
first part of the
so-
episode, but
Yeah.
We're
But
just so
I don't-
excited.
Yeah,
I am so
we're
excited about Nintendo.
The Sony, I think we know what to expect, but they're going to have some kind of surprise. And I can tell you this, on top of those big 4 games, if they were to actually end their conference with, hey, this is Bloodborne 2, that's it.
Yeah.
That's a mic drop. That's a nail in the coffin, for
Yeah.
sure. So, again, I don't know. Part of me says that's not what it is.
Yeah.
But I just
yeah.
really want it to be,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but we'll see. It's pretty close. So,
I hope they make. I hope it's Armored Core, and they make Armored Core all like The mechs are all weird and like they've got bones and stuff.
Yeah.
Like steampunk.
Yeah.
That actually would be cool.
That'd be scary. That'd be insane.
I'd play that.
I would play
It was
that.
like everything was like steam powered.
Yeah. Oh god, like yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love. I just imagine because that thing it looked like bone, but like chains and stuff. Just make that the arm of a giant mech.
I'd play that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
All right. Well, I'd say we're probably over an hour now. This
Yes,
is,
for sure.
We're probably good. We'll obviously skip our last segment. I don't know if you guys had anything else you wanted to say,
Nope.
but that's what we think about E3. Hopefully, we're mostly right. We'll find out.
I'm sure we're completely accurate. Good night.